Hello Libra, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. Libra, how you doing? Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. I have a couple of decks here we're going to use looking at the week ahead, getting the extra energies out for the week ahead. We've got the Kipper, we've got the Lenormand Reverie. That's what we're going to use this week. And we are going to use some tarot as well to find out what's going to go on for you in the week ahead, Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, welcome here if you've never been here before. And if you have been here before and you keep coming back because you're loyal like that, thank you so much for doing that. And please just make sure that you are subscribed. It really doesn't make a big difference to you, but it does to me. So if I come through your feed anyway, maybe you might just want to subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. And thank you for your thumbs up. It does help us grow this Libra tribe, and it has been growing exponentially. So thank you. Let's find out what's going on for Libra. Oh, at the end of this video, I'll tell you about the extendeds. I'll also tell you about how to find a private read. Libra, we've got distant horizons. Feels like you're dropping something that may have been heavy in order to free yourself up for the next cycle. We've got the main male. You could be the main male. You could be dealing with a main male. We are looking at someone who's in a man's body, possibly masculine leaning energy, and we do have a gift. Occupation is here. I feel like there is somebody here. I might be talking about someone who's either someone who's in a man's body. So whether you have feminine or masculine energy, whatever, I don't care. But it looks like there's something here. It feels like you are going to be dropping something that's been heavy for you in order to be able to excel or to rise above something. It does feel like that is a gift. And something here, I feel like when you drop whatever it is that you're dropping, because we do have distant horizons, but see why I'm saying that. We've got the anchor that's no longer attached to the boat. And it feels like it's because I've dropped something really heavy that I'm able to excel or able to rise up above something. I always say that this card is like rising above the bullshit. But the main male is here. And so I could be talking about someone who is a male or who has something to do with a male. And we do have the gift here. So card number 17 for me as a tarot reader always means healing, always means the star, hopeful. Somebody here I feel like is hopeful that their occupation is going to take off. So I don't know what you do for a job, but it feels like your light is on. You're working really hard on something. You're perfecting something or becoming really good at it. You could be a person who works from home and a person who is constantly grinding. I'm going to say toil and labor is the person who had to do the most work for the least money. So it feels like you go from toil and labor to occupation. And the difference between one and the other is maybe you started a home business, or it could be that maybe you have support from family or friends. I feel like the light has gone on for you or is about to go on for you. You're about to have success in your occupation. So whatever it is that you do, and I always see you guys as the creative ones, but you definitely don't have to be in that place. You could be someone who's very gifted with numbers or very gifted in social media or online, but it does feel like it also could be something creative. I feel like you are dropping whatever is not functional in your life right now, Libra. You're just leaving it alone because I'm trying to excel in my career. That's what it feels like, because the occupation is no longer a job. The toil and labor is a job. The occupation is a career. Tell me more about this. Tell me about Libra. We've got card number 33. It's the key. The key in the cage. We've got, oh, I like that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. We've got the fish and the water are abundance. That's money. King of Pentacles in the bottom right-hand corner. I feel like somebody here, I don't know what you're doing with your job or how you're excelling, or I feel like you're about to rise above because you're cutting out anything that is not in line with whatever it is that you're doing for your job. I feel like you're just leaving all of that behind because you're really focused on excelling at whatever it is that you do. I feel like you are leaving the cage door open. I'm going to say you're giving people your key to your heart, and saying, here you go, but this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to be focused on me. I'm going to be focused on money. I'm going to be focused on career. I'm going to be focused on excelling. Look, we have 33 and 34, right? We have 34 here. We're looking at numbers that are now duplicating themselves. We have 3 and 4 is 7, right? We've got a couple of 7s on the table. 17 is a 7. I'm just saying, it feels like somebody here is doing the right thing. Libra, you're doing the right thing by leaving what is heavy and allowing yourself to fly, or allowing yourself to float to whatever heights it is that you are taking your career to. It feels like you're not telling people that they can't be in your life, but I feel like what you're saying to them is 8 of Pentacles. Look, I'm really focused on me, on my growth, on self-reliance. I'm focused on becoming the best at what I do. And so here's the key. You've got the key. I'll leave the cage door open, but please know that my focus is not on you, that my focus is on me and my career. I feel like that's going to cause people to chitter chatter behind your back. We've got the card number 12. I think that you already know that people are talking about you. And this could be in a positive way. It could be people, the right people, who are looking at you in your occupation or your career are noticing you and talking about you. But I also feel like there's something here that tells me you're about to hit the jackpot. And it could be, because we got the gift here, right? It could be money, but I think it feels like notoriety or fame, or somebody has now realized that you're the best at what it is that you do. So we've got the 7 of Pentacles here. You've been waiting for this. But listen, we have a 7 here. We have 34, which is a 7, and we have 34, which is a 7. So 777. It feels like here that you're about to hit the jackpot on something. And we've got card number 3. We've got the ship. Now the ship is also about releasing things, but also getting over some sort of obstacle. We see there's mountains there. And I feel like you're reaching some sort of achievement is what it feels like, because mountains can also be achievements in the tarot. This particular, it's like rising above rising above the obstacles and releasing what doesn't belong to you in order to be able to step into your Empress energy. I feel that's what it feels like here. We've got the person who has been waiting for this moment. It feels like that somebody here is really releasing, letting go, finally letting go of people, places, situations, and jobs that no longer serve me. Because it's time for me to float, it's time for me to excel, it's time for me to get over the obstacles and to start moving ahead in my life. And if people feel like I'm leaving them behind, then maybe they're right. Because I've now got to stop giving to everyone else and I've got to focus on me. Tell me more about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. The main male can also be somebody who is of influence, right? So this person might be your boss. This person could be someone who is of influence that has to do with your career. Whatever that is, you could be a musician or a painter or a potter, but you could also be a banker. It could be someone who is a seamstress, someone who makes clothing for a living. Maybe you're into costume design. It feels like somebody here of importance is going to notice you and is going to give you a gift, which is going to allow you to drop some sort of heavy burden you've been carrying in order to excel. Oh, I love that. The Angel of the Night is specific to this deck. This is the Angel of the Night is specific, is coming out of a dark place. It's the dark night of the soul is what it is. The Angel of the Night appears to tell you that you are now stepping out of a dark part of your life and things are about to get easier. What I love is that the next card here is this water and fish, right? Which is money and abundance. And card 7 for me, that means that the universe is looking in on you and is noticing. I feel like the main male could be like your spirit guide looking in on you and saying, yep, Libra's been doing the thing. I feel like you are leaving a place of people pleasing. You're leaving a place of, I feel like you're allowing people, like you're leaving the cage door open here, which means you can come and go as you please. And I've got to do the thing that I've got to do for me, because it's time for me to do a little bit of self-mastery. That's what it feels like here. We've got the moon energy. Okay, the world card. You know, when I was shuffling these, I saw it 4 times when I was shuffling, and then it just popped out. I don't know if you just saw how it popped out, but we have the world card here. This is going to shut everybody up. I'm just saying. That's what it feels like. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. And we have the Ace of Wands. Look, I only put down six tarot cards, and 4 of them are major arcana in this deck, which is very interesting, which tells me something is about to switch up for you or is about to change. This is very interesting. It does feel like this main male is somebody who of influence who has their eye on you. So it feels like it's somebody. It doesn't feel romantic to me. It does feel like this person is the one who has witnessed you go through the toughest times in your life, but the person who has also noticed you staying steady, staying sturdy, releasing things that you no longer need. You're not lashing out at people. You're saying, look, here's the key. You want to come and go, you can. But please know that my focus isn't on you. My focus is on me. My focus is on my career. It's on making money. It's on becoming famous or infamous or whatever it is. It feels like this person here has been watching you. And I feel like that it feels like there is some sort of gift that this person wants to give you. And I feel like the gift that this person is going to give you is going to help you release whatever's been heavy. And it's going to set you on your way to, we've got both boats in the air. It feels like it's going to set you on your way to release and fly. I think you're about to fly. Who's that? I just want to fly. Sugar Ray? Yeah, that's what it is. See what else we've got here. So I'm going to say that with the dark night of the soul, the angel of the night, this moon energy here, I think what you don't see is that you're at the end of this place, the dark night of the soul. It's about to end. It's about to wrap up this really hard cycle for you. But it feels like things are not as they seem. But you know what? Through all of it, Libra, you haven't missed a beat. I'm just going to say you kept working. You kept grinding. King of Pentacles is Taurus energy, right? You just kept working and grinding and working and grinding. We've got all these pentacles up here. 7 of Pentacles. You've been patient. King of Pentacles is very patient, but also always grinding. 8 of Pentacles is I keep practicing, or I keep rewriting it, or I keep practicing whatever the craft is that you're doing. And I feel like it's been really hard because I feel like you've been feeling nobody's noticing. But you're about to gain a perspective that I don't think that you were expecting, and it's going to lead to some sort of brand new cycle. The Ace of Wands is here. But first we must close the door. I feel like this is the chitter chatter of people in the distance here. And I feel like these people are probably gossiping about you a little bit, but it also feels like you're about to shut them down. It feels like with the World card here, you're about to close a chapter, and then they're going to have to start speaking well about you, because I feel like something here is about to take hold that you've been hoping for. Got the 10 of Swords. You are releasing the dark night of the soul energy here. The 10 of Swords is telling me that this is the very end of the cycle where you, yes, feel betrayed by someone or something, but you are finally going to release it. And things aren't as they seem. Look at that. The 3 of Cups shows up right away. As soon as you decide to release it, it feels like you could be holding a grudge, or that maybe you are you were in a place where maybe you were blaming things that were external to you about why you weren't coming to this place where you felt like you were good enough. And I feel like that was an internal thing and not an external thing. And I think that you come to this perspective with the Hanged Man energy and realizing, I've just got to release that. And I think that when you do, you finally release yourself from the dark night of the soul. It's the final lesson, I believe. And I feel like what isn't as it seems here with the moon energy is that you're actually in the 9 of Pentacles. You've worked your way through the 7 and the 8 of Pentacles, and now you're at the 9 of Pentacles. This is the place where you just keep your head down and you keep working. And everybody's like, well, where's Libra? Where's Libra? How come we're not going out tonight? And Libra's like, sorry, I got to be home. I got to be working. I got to be practicing. I'm going to be doing whatever it is. But look, here's the key. There's the key. You guys can come and go as you want from the cage, but I can't go out with you. It feels like that you finally get a perspective of the only way that I'm going to be happy is if I do this on my own. The 3 of Cups tells me that it feels like you sort of pull away from your social group. Maybe you go a little bit quiet and you start to really focus on what you want. Tell me more. We've got the Queen of Cups. And we've got the Empress. Yep, you are definitely learning to stand on your own. That's what it looks like when you close the door and you stop worrying about what everyone else is thinking, about whatever it is that you're doing. I feel like it gets emotional for a moment. When you pull away from your social group, your friend group, or maybe party nights, it feels like that it feels bad for a bit. I'm going to say when you close the door, but what you don't realize with the moon energy, things are not as they seem. The second you do that and you pull away, I feel like you get a perspective about how the Three of Cups was actually interfering in you finding the depth within yourself, reaching your intuition, being more kind and compassionate with yourself. I feel like closing the door and not listening to whatever everybody else is saying. Here, I feel like the last queen that you had to figure out was the Queen of Cups. But honestly, I feel like the Queen of Cups is telling me that you had to give compassion to yourself. Rather than giving it away, you have to start loving the self, being compassionate and kind to yourself. I feel like that's the last lesson you needed before the Empress showed up here. It feels like you had all the other queens down. I'm going to say the Queen of Swords is you. That's Libra energy. The Queen of Wands is independent. The Queen of Pentacles is the one who has got the money thing down. But the Queen of Cups, I feel, is something that you were probably being dragged off the path by people who meant well, but who I think were enjoying dragging you off the path because they knew that if you started to just grind and keep to yourself, that you're going to have this place where you're finally going to drop all the things that have been heavy on you, and you were just going to wander off into the distance and rise above all of them. I really feel like it's a different vibration that you're in here. Tell me about this money. Let's talk about this, because the fish in the water are abundance. And with the King of Pentacles present here, I believe we're talking money. It feels like a collaboration, or this main male, this person of influence, I feel, is someone who's been watching you go through all the stages or levels of your life. And I feel like this person could be somebody who is going to give you a gift. And I think the gift is probably giving you an infusion into your business. Maybe they're going to say, could you work with our band? It feels like something like that. Tell me about this. We've got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. We've got the High Priestess. And the Eight of Cups. It feels like you stop putting time, effort, energy, and money into things that don't matter. Things that are not going to push you ahead or not elevate you, I feel like is what you stop putting your effort and time into. It feels like you weren't for a long while listening to your intuition. Feels like you were disconnected from your intuition because you were doing so much for other people. You were not focused on you. You were focused on things external to you. So it does feel like you finally begin in this journey toward the Queen of Cups. You realize that the Queen of Cups is not only compassionate and kind with other people, but that we have to learn those things before we can give them away. And so I feel like you are coming out of this dark night of the soul. Somebody is noticing that you've had a hard time, but that you've come to this perspective that if I do it myself, I'll be much happier, I'll be much kinder. And I feel like this Ace of Wands is telling me it's the beginning of something exciting, a very exciting cycle for you that is opening up in your career path. It does definitely feel like it's a career path thing. And this person here has been watching you. This person here has been watching you, and they are somebody who is about to invest in you or give you a gift that is going to help you drop some sort of a burden that you've been carrying or whatever's been weighing you down. Tell me about the main male. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The Two of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. This person, I feel, is offering you something. It might be a collaboration. We've got two Pentacles here, which tells me that somebody's been going back and forth on whether they should offer you something at the crossroads. The Two of Swords is here. You're going to have to make a decision as to whether this is going to be a good collaboration for you or not. It feels like with the Two of Swords, it's a really big decision, but it also feels like that this is an Ace of Pentacles, so it can be anything, right? It's abundance. But it feels like this person's going to offer to open the door for you just a little bit. The Page of Pentacles is here, but it is an offer nonetheless. It feels like this person is going to offer you just a little bit of something. And I feel like it's going to pull you out of the dark night of the soul, is what it feels like. I feel like you've been working on something. Look, maybe you've been writing, or you've been creating or painting or potting or music. It doesn't have to be any of those creative things, but it feels like it's something that you've been doing over and over again. And you've been doing it in order to get through the dark night of the soul energy. But now that you've released it, you've gained a perspective that you're going to be much happier doing something on your own. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk more about this. Look, we got the Two of Pentacles. Something here is a decision that's being made in the 3D. The Ten of Wands tells me there it is. Yep, there it is. You're dropping something here. You're letting go of something that's been very heavy on you for a very long time. And I don't think that the people around you are going to understand why you're deciding to pull away from your social group, or I'm not talking to you as much as I used to, or whatever it is. But I feel like you're doing it for the right reasons. We do have the Page of Swords. We have the Ten of Wands, and we have the Two of Pentacles. It almost feels like you're waiting to see what everybody says when you start to burn shit to the ground. When you start to release things from your life, and I think this includes people who are not a fan of you paying more attention to yourself than you are to them, I feel like people are going to wander up to the boundaries, and when you slam those boundaries down, I feel like you're going to have to release them too. It's not going to be easy. Two of Pentacles is here. I'm going to have to stay in balance while I do it, but the Page of Swords is here. You've got people who love you, who are observing you from a distance and seeing you that you're happy doing something that you want to do that makes the heart space happy, but they aren't included. And so I think that they're probably not going to be all that happy. When you begin to excel at whatever it is that you're doing, you begin to have a success. I feel like there's a business person here who's going to open a door for you and give you a gift. It might be monetary because we've got the Ace of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles here. It's a decision that this person's making because they see how you're handling yourself in a time that was the hardest for you. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk about, well, where are you going? Because we see you in two places here. We see that these boats are helping you rise above some sort of obstacle. Where is it taking you? Let's talk about that. And we are going to talk about these people and what they're going to be saying about you, because I feel like when you pull yourself away from this group of people, when you begin to just spend more time with yourself, that you do move into this Empress energy, whether you're feminine or masculine. The Empress is Libra, regardless of feminine or masculine. But something really exciting happens for you when you begin to make the decision to focus on yourself and listen to your intuition. We're going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, please look at the top of the all of the comments. There is a pinned comment. Please look there. You will see there is a link there for the membership. If you want to see at least 4 extendeds in a month, Libra, you can do that. If you want to come to membership, if you just want this one, you can purchase it outright, and you can see that link in the pinned comment. If you're interested in a private read, I am doing private reads, and I do them pre-recorded. I also do them live, so pick your poison. Take that link to Hypsee. You can look at all my packages, the time frames I'm available to do live readings, and then we can find a time when you look at my schedule. If you'd like to, you can get a discount in the live readings, up to 75% if you book ahead. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back, Libra. Take care of yourself. See you there. Bye-bye.